Hey everyone, my name is Nathan Pay, and welcome to another episode of Coffee and Crypto. We have Miles, head of research at Blu Ocean Games Guild, here with us. Man, excited to have you back,
I'm stoked to be back. It was a
right?
really interesting last few days. I got to be honest with you.
It sounds like that, and that's what I want to talk with him about today. Was he was down at the Web3 Gamers Award show in Miami. We've been talking about it for weeks now. I'm sure everyone knows. And he also got to present an award. So
Yeah, which was super exciting. I thought there would be a
Yeah.
whole bunch of people viewing on a live stream, but it turns out that there was issues with stream viewership. So if anybody wants to see the award show, don't worry. There is a recorded and edited version that we'll be able to distribute later on if you haven't seen it already.
Yeah.
But it was an excellent time, and it was really warm in Miami. I should have expected that when I got there.
Right.
It was warm. It was quite warm.
So, firstly, how was the trip down? How was the flight?
You know what? It was really. I thought it was going to be like super long and droning, but it turns out that there were nice movies to watch, and my layover was for a few hours, so I had time to be on my computer in between, and it was actually better to do it that way than try to all cram it in as short as I could. You know what I mean? I probably could have taken an extra night to get to know some people that I met there a little bit better. You know what I mean? I met some people from Immutable X, and I met one of the guys. His name's Squiddy from Champions Ascension. If you're watching this, Squiddy, you're a good man, and I'm shouting you out. And yeah, I would have liked to have spent a day, getting to see those people again and having lunch with them or something. But I guess we're just gonna have to have lunch on Telegram instead.
Yes, or maybe the next time there's another event, we'll just have to make sure to book a couple extra days.
Yeah, that's what we got to do. And I'm sure that the guys who did the Web3 Gam3r Awards, I'm shouting out you, IC. I'm sure he's planning on doing it again. And so if he does it again, I would absolutely love to go again.
Yeah, I'd love to see this as a yearly thing
with me next time, and we can have like a whole sort of guild outing.
Yeah, luckily there was a few people who, 8-bit tendies in particular was how I was able to watch the stream. So
yeah, that's right. Thank goodness for that.
Right,
we tried our best.
I was able to watch most of it. I think I only missed a couple of the awards, and it looked like a ton of fun. And man, the award, what would you even call them? The statues were like, looked amazing.
They were really cool. I think I'm not sure if they were made out of porcelain or if they were made out of clay or something like that, but they were like solid and really nice and painted
real proper awards.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool. I was like, man, I can't believe I get to hold one of these things, man. Like somebody's gonna get this.
So what was the energy like? What was the?
So everybody was excited to meet everybody, and in a less formal setting. We were all, and we even mentioned this. I think Bryson was talking about it when he was on the stage. He was talking about how he was excited to get to meet people and have beers with them and just chill and eat pizza instead of getting to meet people in like a formal setting where we're talking about the business and we're talking about that and we're all worried about this, that, the other thing.
I see.
What I mean? We were excited to be at an event together that was like a live event and everybody was relaxed and having a good time.
Nice. And
so the energy was really like that. I met a lot of people and everybody was the same. We were all just like, hey, it's good to see you. I can't believe this is what you look like in real life. Nice to meet you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We all just, we talked about business a little bit, but we were all just happy to see each other and eat pizza with each other in real life.
Nice.
And make a real event out of it.
What were some of the people that you met in conversations?
So I met a lady named Elena from Immutable X, and she's a really smart lady who I spoke to about the scalability of current solutions in crypto. And she really got me thinking about how we have to think about how if you're going to make a solution scalable, like if you're going to create a project or something and make it in crypto and make it scalable, and it has to be in a way that it sort of is compatible with the other solutions or with the other systems that are prevalent in crypto. You know what I mean? Which I really thought about.
That's a good point.
I thought about Immutable X when she was talking about that. I was like, well, that makes sense. All the Immutable X games that I've played, they all seem to be really cross-compatible, and it's really easy to move things from one to another. So the system that they've created really supports what she's talking about.
Okay.
And
so she was saying about doing that across the whole industry, not just
across the entire industry. And so, and what she's really talking about is making standards so that everything links up. You know what I mean? Like, for example, if everybody uses MP4s to play their videos, then, everybody knows that, well, if I just download this player, it will play MP4s and all the videos will work.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Makes sense. All sort of stick to the one standard because then it's going to be compatible,
I think any industry
just as an example, I guess,
needs to do that. I mean, we take a look at the internet. A lot of people don't realize that TCP was one of like 40 to 50 different competing networks.
And people don't realize how many like meetings people had to decide these things and go, okay, this is what we're all going to use. Are you guys all okay with that? Great. And then all like the universities or whoever it was that was using those things at the time were like, okay, we're going to use TCP/IP because that's what everybody decided.
Mm-hmm.
So you know that if you send something to this place from that place, that they're going to get it because they're using the same languages.
That's right. But it took a lot to get to that point.
Well, and that's the stage that we're in the crypto industry right now. Everybody's got their things and they're building, and we have to figure out how to make them all compatible and make them all standard. Mm-hmm. And there's going to be a few things. So I was actually talking to Jasper Fu and Chris G. I don't remember what his last name is, the CEO of community gaming.
Oh, yeah.
And we were talking about the exact same thing. We were like, they want to use their platform as a way to standardize tournaments for the esports level gaming in not just necessarily Web3 gaming, but in all sorts of gaming. So if you're going to try to organize a tournament of any sort, you can use their platform to make organizing that tournament easier.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if there are going to be rewards related to that, whatever it might be, then it will be streamlined and easy to distribute. You know what I mean? And so I thought about that, and I was like, well, yeah, that's really important, because if you're trying to, run a big tournament for any sort of game, especially, if there's going to be 1,000 players or more, you know what I mean? Like you need the infrastructure for that.
That's
and
right.
So that's what they were talking about, the exact same thing, the scalability and onboardability of crypto solutions for people. You know what I mean?
It's going to be really important in esports.
Yeah, it's going to be really. There's going to be a lot of people who are skilled at games who don't want to worry about this, that, or the other thing, and so there has to be solutions for those people. So
the organization and management is actually quite complex when you're dealing with, and especially if it's like teams competing, not just individuals and stuff like that.
Well, and actually, the example that was given to me, the most prevalent example that stuck in my head was what's it called? BlackBerry Messenger. If you guys remember, everybody used BlackBerry because of BlackBerry Messenger. But when technology sort of went past that, and BlackBerry Messenger was no longer a thing that people could use because they needed to use devices that didn't have it.
Yeah.
Well, it died overnight, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Really quickly.
What I mean? So the idea is that like when something newer or different comes along the way, and you're in the middle of one thing, you want to be able to take that one thing and use your momentum to go towards the next thing.
Yeah, being able to adapt.
Beautiful X is really great with that, and community gaming is really great with that. With your being able to win earnings from tournaments and take those and play in other tournaments and whatever it might be. You know what I mean? They streamline that whole process.
I really like their platform. We've had an experience with it through Bornless, and it was very smooth.
Yeah, I love that. It was really nice. We've been thinking about holding other tournaments, and definitely we would do it with them.
Yes.
And also, I just want to hang out with Jasper again because he's a really cool guy.
Oh, right on. Good to know. How about the awards? Did some of them surprise you?
No, not really. To be completely honest with you, I wasn't super surprised. So obviously the winner of Game of the Year was Big Time. Mm-hmm. There's no shocker there. And when I heard that there had been a huge updates to Big Time, I was like, well, maybe I should go back and play it again. It's it's the new revision. I'm sure some stuff is different. Mm-hmm. Well, it's a whole lot different. They changed a bunch of stuff, and they've added a bunch of stuff, and the maps are bigger, and there's more complexity and more everything, just the way that I expected there to be. Mm-hmm. We had a winner for Best Sports Game. The winner was So Rare NFT. And I really took a look into So Rare NFT, and it's really clever what they're doing, because they're trying to... People who are sports fans are going to be watching the games of the teams that they're fans of. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So they really built their app and their NFTs to support actual gameplay that's happening live in the NBA and in the NFL. And
sweet.
So... Okay. The stats of the players that are playing in the NBA and NFL and MLB, and their batting averages or their 7-week averages, whatever it might be, you know what I mean, is relevant to what's going on in their games or our NFTs. So the people who are, involved in that are also sort of incentivized to be involved in sports, actual sports in real life.
Yeah, it's
as
like
well.
drafting.
Yeah, so it's a sort of adding. Yeah, it's basically like a drafting, but through a video game, but with NFTs and with collectability, and they've got the support of all the organizations and everything. So it's a really, really great thing. And I had no idea that it was going on until just a few months ago when somebody told me that they were going to be
right on.
These are some of the people who might get nominated. I was like, oh, who's this? And so I was really, really impressed by that and surprised by that.
Yeah, that was something I really liked about looking through all the candidates as well. Like, we researched tons and tons of titles, but there were like a handful where it's like, wait, what's this?
So we also play test a lot of titles. And I thought that I had sort of the scoop on all of the gameplay that was out for the time being. But then when I saw the gameplay of My Pet Hooligan, I was like, who are these guys? Because it's clear to me that they seem to have some sort of a Hollywood base. I'm not exactly sure.
Okay.
But their game looks really, really great. Mm-hmm. And the person who came to receive their award was a computer-generated person. It was one of their hooligans.
Oh, nice.
And he was really, really cute. And he was well-animated. And he had a good voice actor and everything. So I was like, wow, these guys are really doing this properly. So I was really impressed. I want to know more about their hooligans and what's going on in their game. And there seems to be several different gameplay styles, but the one that I saw was a shooting game, and it looked really clean. So whatever's going on there, I have to take a closer look for sure.
Right on.
I'm really excited about that.
Mm-hmm. And you presented the sports award for
I presented the sports award, which is why I was so intrigued to get to know all the sports games that were going to win awards a little better, because the truth is the weak spot in my research is actually sports games, and that's kind of because of a bias. Don't tell anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a bit of bias. I don't play a lot of sports games, but
I thought it was kind of neat that was the one that had a purpose to research.
I looked at this and I was like, this is my weak point. I have to spend some time on this. And there was the 5 candidates were actually really impressive. And if anybody likes sports games, just off the top of my head, Sora NFT would be a great one to look at. And the other one that I liked that looked really cool was STG Football. And then there's a third one. It's called Rumble Cons, and that's just like the organization, and they have a bunch of things under their umbrella that they do. So if you guys like sports stuff, check those out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Content creator Bryson won that.
Bryson was a really cool guy. I actually got to meet him, and I got to meet his girlfriend, and he's just like a really down to earth, cool guy. He reminds me of myself, kind of. He just wants to play good games, and he's really brutally honest about it. But he's also really, really good at public speaking. Oh, right. And he's got a great presence. So his YouTube videos are also really well put together. So I can see why he won that award. He's a good dude.
I like how Star Atlas obviously was there too. Michael
Wagner. I didn't get a chance to actually chat with Mike, but everybody else was talking about how they all wanted to talk to him really, really bad. So I was like, well, he probably is going to be a pretty busy person, and maybe I shouldn't bother him. And every time I saw him, he had 10 people around him, which I can't be surprised about. You know what I mean? Now, hopefully, we get our chance to talk to the guys from Star Atlas soon. We'll definitely be reaching out to them, but we're going to do it after the event because clearly they're busy.
Yeah. What out of everything that you went through kind of with the event, what did you say was your favorite part about the whole thing? Did you like the kind of casual networking? Did you like the award ceremony?
My favorite part about the whole thing, I would say, was definitely the casual networking. A lot of people weren't sure how casual to be, and it was sort of my desire, my inner soul desire to set that standard. We're going to be casual. So I walked in there, I was wearing a shirt with flamingos on it, and I went into the backstage room, and everybody was kind of dressed up, and they were all sitting in their corners, and I was like, well, what's up, everybody? What's your name? Do you guys want to take a picture together? This is cool. We're at an awards ceremony.
Nice.
Everybody immediately loosened up, and that continued to be sort of the feel for the rest of the night, and I had a lot of fun chatting with the guys from Community Gaming around the table while the event was going down. We chatted for a couple of hours, and I really feel like we align with them in sort of values. Where we want to bring all the greatest games to the highest level of their sort of competitiveness and showcase that. You know what I mean? A great example would be Heroes of Mafia. We want to play Heroes of Mafia, but we want people to see our strategy and get to the top. You know what I mean? So I think the Community Gaming wants to help us do that because they also want to facilitate some high-level tournaments in all of the hot games. So
makes sense.
So if we're on that together, then we'll be playing games. They'll be hosting games, and everything will be good.
Sounds like I'm looking forward to speaking with them more.
Yeah, that's and for sure. The most important thing that I took away from the whole event was definitely that we all need to think about how to make all of our solutions sort of standard and easy for onboarding, easy for people to understand, and not hard for them to deal with. You know what I mean? You can just log in and start. Eevee.io definitely did that the best this year, and that's why I think they won the award for best esports game and the award for best shooter, if I'm not mistaken. And I can't blame them on that. Their game has been updating, and now it's just really, really clean. You can run it on literally any device. I was at my hotel after the show, about 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm jet lagged, so I'm talking to the valet, and I told him to go onto his office computer and type Eevee.io just so I could show him one of the games that won an award. And it ran on his office computer at work. His office computer is like a thin client machine. You know what I mean? That gets its processing power from a main machine. And not that much at that, and he was able to run the game just fine. He was having fun playing this game, and I'm like, this game won one of the awards tonight. And he was like, I can see why. It's pretty clean. It's fun. Yeah. And he just kept playing it after I went upstairs. I was like, this is exactly what I want. Yeah. So I want that on a mass scale for everybody. I want to take my friend Edwin, and there's a million Edwins in this world, and I want them all to see Eevee.io or some other game and be like, this is actually pretty cool, and it doesn't take much. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because that's what happened to me when I joined this company. So.
Good stuff, man. What were some of the notable awards that you could think of that really kind of stood out to your mind?
The one that stood out to my mind was the award for best. What was it called? Trailer. That's the one. Yes. The award for best trailer went to Shrapnel, and while I really liked their trailer, I watched all of those trailers a few times over, and I actually maybe think that they could have given that award to somebody else.
Okay.
Now, Shrapnel's trailer was really, really nice, but I kind of had my hopes up for like the Bornless or one of the other guys to win, even Star Atlas to win that trailer award, because Star Atlas's trailer was really cool, and I kind of want to see the next episode of Star Atlas's trailer. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that. Yeah, there's that. I know what the next episode of Shrapnel's trailer is, though. It's just the same thing.
Okay.
So that's why I was like, I'm not sure about this. The other award that stood out to me was definitely Big Time getting Game of the Year.
Yes.
I've made a lot of confidence ratings for a lot of games, and Big Time has one of my biggest confidence ratings out of all of them in my list. And I kind of think that my confidence ratings sort of reflect the games that were nominated and some of the games that won this year, of course, except for the sports games, because I didn't make a huge effort to research sports games last year.
That's
but no,
now?
it was really reassuring, I guess you could say, to see most of, if not all of the games on that list to be on my list already.
Nice.
We were like 70%, and now we're obviously at 100%. But so I was like, oh, well, I know about most of these already, and I kind of feel like I know what I'm talking about, and that was kind of reassuring, because that means that all my hard work was sort of not for naught.
And lining up with kind of general
and it was
consensus.
lining up with the general consensus a little bit, which I'm not that I am trying to please everybody, but the truth is that I just want to make sure that I am not the one person in the room that thinks the thing, and if I am, there's got to be a reason, right? So
that's right.
Just sort of,
it was good validation.
Yeah, it was validation at its end, and it was nice to meet a bunch of really cool people and go somewhere warm, because Canada's not super warm, and just wear a t-shirt and still sweat. That was kind of neat. So
yeah, and big shout out to Icy. I mean,
when
he was putting the whole thing together,
what a
it was
good dude.
Yeah, right. Like, he just came into our Discord.
He kept a cool head, and he had fun he was meeting everybody.
Yeah,
he was really great to meet. So
it was really nice for us to be able to sponsor the event too. So we were an official sponsor.
Yeah,
that was
right.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah,
and just like the excitement, even after the event, like still just talking to him. We want to coordinate, maybe get him on the show here. Do a follow-up podcast. There's lots of stuff that he's kind of working on now, so I can already tell the wheels are turning for next year.
That's right. What else and we'll be ready as soon as we know what they're doing. They'll know what we're doing. I'll tell you.
Yeah,
we've got some stuff in the works for the next few months.
I wish I could go, but I'm so glad that you got the opportunity to.
Well,
I thought that was fantastic.
Next time, I think you should make a few days time and come with me.
Next time maybe we'll bring a few people. It'll be a little bit easier to plan, because it was kind of like, oh, we've got a month to plan for this. I think it was a month and a half.
We had about a month and a half, but that's not their fault. Though.
No, it wasn't, right? I mean, that's actually more than adequate enough time. But, getting you to go down there to be able to be a part of it, I was excited vicariously through you,
I'm just glad you guys got to see most of the event, because I wanted you guys to see what was going on and, like, feel the energy in the room.
Yes, it was wonderful. Talk. It really was.
And a shout out to Toto, who helped to organize the event. He was a really cool dude, and he kept everybody sort of organized, and I had no idea what I was doing, and he's like, this is what you're doing. So I really appreciate your help, man.
Oh, right on.
Toto was a good dude.
Just kind of kept everything organized.
Yeah, he was there helping Icy out with everything, so I mean, he did a lot of work that night.
Okay, right on. Well, that's awesome. I can't wait for next year. I'm glad that a lot of the awards that went out kind of lined up with how we felt about a lot of the games and stuff. I'm looking forward for them having that edited kind of version together where we can all watch it. We did catch, like I said, I think they missed only like 3 or 4
pieces of footage in there that I hadn't seen before, and I was like, where did you guys find this? Like gameplay footage of certain games that I hadn't seen, and things like that.
That's what I noticed was really impressive too. Like, they had the screen going. They were showing all kinds of clips of gameplay. There was like interviews with some of the people who weren't able to be there, or like some of the
people who weren't able to be there, who received their awards via sort of video recording, as far as I could tell. Especially My Pet Hooligans, who they really did their thing.
Yeah, that was cool.
I thought that was really neat. So I hope everybody gets to see that, because those guys are really putting the production value into their game for sure.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for coming on and chatting about your experience.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I hope we get to meet with some of the folks that I met with in Miami. And if you guys are watching, I hope you want to sit down on your comfy couch while we sit down on our comfy couches and have a chat.
Right. Awesome. I can't wait to do it. Well, thanks so much for joining us, everyone, today. We were really excited to be able to be a part of that, and I'm looking forward to many more opportunities and events that we can be, involved in. So this was kind of just the first of many. Of course, be sure to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. It really helps us out. And until next time, cheers. Don't forget about our 1,000 subscriber giveaway, where you can win $200. And if you need more information, be sure to join us on our Discord. See you there.